Welcome to another English story video. Today you will practice listening. Hope you will like it. Now let me tell you a story. This story is told by a man who has a family. After 21 years of marriage, I discovered a new way to bring love and passion back into my relationship. I started seeing another woman, not secretly, not behind my wife's back. In fact, the idea came from my wife herself, and that is where the story truly begins. "You know you love her," my wife said one evening, completely catching me off guard. "Life is short," she continued calmly. "You should spend it with the people you love." I laughed nervously. "But I love you," I replied. "I know," she said. "But you love her too." Then she added something I didn't expect at all. "I think if you spent more time with her, you and I would actually grow closer." My wife Olivia has always had a strange talent. She is almost always right, even when I don't want her to be. Still, I was confused. Who was this other woman she was talking about? A coworker, an old friend, someone from my past? The truth surprised even me. The other woman was my mother. She was 71 years old. My father had passed away 19 years earlier, and since then, she had lived alone. Shortly after his death, I moved more than 1,000 miles away from California. I built a career, started a family, and without meaning to, I slowly drifted away from her. 5 years ago, I moved back to my hometown. I promised myself things would be different. I promised I would see my mother more often. But life happened. Work, 3 kids, endless responsibilities. And suddenly, more often became holidays only. One evening, I finally called her. I invited her to dinner, then to a movie. There was a long pause on the line. "What's wrong?" she asked suspiciously. "Are you trying to take my grandchildren away from me?" My mother has always been the kind of woman who expects trouble, even from kindness. "No," I said gently. "I just thought it would be nice to spend some time together. Just you and me." She was quiet for a moment. Then she said softly, "That would be nice. I like that idea." I hung up feeling strangely nervous, like I had just asked someone on a real date. That Friday, driving to her house after work, my heart was racing. What if she didn't like the restaurant? What if she hated the movie? What if we had nothing to talk about? It sounded ridiculous. After all, she was my mother. But the nervous excitement felt very real. When I arrived, she was already waiting at the door. Her hair was curled, she was dressed nicely, smiling. "I told my friends I'm going out to dinner with my son," she said proudly as she got into the car. "They can't wait to hear all about it tomorrow." That moment stayed with me. We chose a simple cafe. Nothing fancy, just a place where we could talk. As we walked in, my mother squeezed my arm tightly, partly from emotion, partly to help her with the steps. When we sat down, I started reading the menu out loud. Her eyesight wasn't what it used to be. Halfway through, I looked up. She was watching me with a gentle, sad smile. "When you were little," she said, "I used to read the menu to you." I understood instantly. The circle had closed. She had taken care of me. Now it was my turn. "Then it's time for you to relax," I said. "Let me take care of you now." Dinner passed quickly. We talked about everything, nothing special, and yet everything mattered. We talked so much that we completely missed the movie. As I drove her home, she smiled and said, "I'll go on another date with you, but next time, I'm paying." I agreed without hesitation. When I got home, my wife looked at me and asked, "So, how was your date?" "Better than I expected," I said honestly. She smiled, a knowing smile, the kind that said, "I told you so." From that night on, my mother and I began meeting regularly, once or twice a month, dinner, sometimes a movie, mostly just conversations. She told me about her life, about working in a factory during the war, about meeting my father, about dreams she once had. I realized something important. Her stories weren't just hers. They were mine too. This was my history. Spending time with her slowly taught me something I'd forgotten how to do. It taught me how to slow down in a world that is always rushing, how to sit without looking at the clock, how to listen without thinking about what comes next, how to be truly present in a moment that may never come again. I began to understand the real value of time, not as hours or days, but as shared moments, quiet conversations, and laughter that doesn't need a reason. Time with her was not loud or dramatic. It was simple, gentle, and deeply meaningful. My wife was right. Seeing another woman did not push us apart. It brought us closer. It reminded me of where love begins and how it grows. Because when you learn to love with patience and gratitude, that love spreads into every part of your life. Those evenings made me a better husband. They made me a more attentive father. And most importantly, they helped me become a better son. I realized that a mother's love never asks for anything. It waits quietly, hoping only to be remembered. And when you finally turn back toward it, it welcomes you without judgment. Thank you. Thank you for every sacrifice, every lesson, every moment of quiet strength. Thank you for loving me long before I understood what love truly meant. I love you. Thank you for listening to this kind story. If you want to improve your English, listen again. Pause and repeat out loud. If you enjoyed it, like the video and subscribe. More meaningful English stories are coming soon. See you next time.